Hello, everyone. So yesterday I just watched Twilight for the first time, unironically. I just wanted to see why everyone. I know it's been 10 years, but like I just wanted to see why a lot of people love that show, and I can kind of understand the hype behind it. I mean, did I say show? I meant series, but I can understand the hype behind it. Um, it would, but I mean, it was like when I was watching it, I was like, oh shoot, now I want a vampire boyfriend. But like, I could only handle so much. I mean, because obviously I'm an introvert, and obviously I would just be like, I could take like 2 hours of living the life of hectic life of vampire, and then I would just be like, you know what, I need to recharge for like a week, and then maybe we can do this again on a good day. But like other than that, I'm just you can't. And you know what? It's real. Like, I've watched shows where people are immortal and, like, then they want to they want to die because they don't like being immortal anymore. And I get why, because it's just like, he's 17. First of all, I don't understand how people who are immortal get to stay like a certain age, and then there are other immortal people who are like old people. Like, I don't understand that. Uh, so this guy is 17. Edward's 17, and it's like, so you're a junior. So you only have one more year until you graduate. So after that, or you could just get held back because you're acting kind of stupid. So, but I mean, there's only so many years they can hold you back. So eventually, you're going to have to stay in a certain place for a few years. So you're just gonna have to keep going at different high schools all the time, like possibly even travel the world to go to keep your. You have to travel around the world to keep your secret, because obviously people are eventually gonna be like, hey, you know what? We're aging. Maybe like if 1 or 2 years pass, people aren't gonna see that you're not aging, but like people are going to be like, eventually people are gonna be like, hey, you know what? You're not aging. So then they have to move every few years, every like 10 years or something. And it's just like, wow. Huh. That's crazy. And like, so you can't be 17 forever. So people are going to be like, so you're 17 forever. That's crazy. And so yeah, so like that would be a lot of work to be dealing with someone who's immortal. So that's a lot. And the whole entire movie, um it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't Gone with the Wind type good, but it wasn't bad. I mean, Twilight was the beginning of the vampires, um the teen meets vampire falls in love, and werewolves and stuff. But I mean, like, the original Dracula was supposed to be very handsome, and that's how he lured his victims in. So, like, so that's we know that they're supposed to be attractive. Vampires are supposed to be very attractive and lure their victims. Um, it's funny because the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking about, what would Bela Lugosi think of this, and then I realized, like, halfway through the movie, um, the main girl's name is Bela Lugosi. Wow, it's like, I mean, I know it's two different. They're spelled differently because two L's means a girl and one L means a boy. But if you didn't know that, um, but like, yeah, I was thinking, like, is that a tribute to Bela Lugosi? It's like, wow, That's genius, but part of me is just like, part of me is kind of a snob, and I don't think the creators of Twilight thought of that. I really don't. But the acting was not good, uh, and I'm pretty sure we all know that. I mean, as much as so many people, I didn't want to hate on Twilight before I knew it, but like I heard that people just love hating Twilight. So like, but I never really thought of watching it before. I was never really into the whole vampire thing until I started watching um what's it called? What's that one on CW? Vampire Diaries. Um and I didn't even watch all of it. I think I stopped like watching after season 2 cuz it was just like, and then I found out that basically everyone in the series got turned into a vampire. So I was just like, "Oh, that made no sense at all." Even though I didn't watch it, it was just like, okay. Um so yeah, that's all I had to say about the that's all I had to say about Twilight. I haven't watched the rest. I know like a few years ago, like when I was in, not a few years ago, well, I mean, it was like 2015 or 14, I don't know. When I was still at UMass Boston, my friend, well, my ex-friend, she dragged me to see Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1. That was the only Twilight series I saw. That was the only Twilight movie I saw. Because she made me do that. And she was all into that. And she even read 50 Shades of Grey. So, which I didn't know was a thing until she told me was like Twilight fanfic. And I was just like, okay, I see what she's about. So... and that's not why we stopped being friends. Um, but yeah, so like I remember Edward said, "You're like a drug to me" or something like that, and I was just like, I laughed internally, and that was hilarious. And it's just like none of the characters have any depth to them at all, so it's just it's like when 60s, like when the 60s and like early 50s 60s movies came out, sci-fi movies came out, like they never really it never really like it there Twilight is like the early 50s 60s sci-fi movies where like they never really focus on the plot. They only focus on the cool things. Like Twilight focuses on basically vampires being vampires, and in the late 50s early 60s sci-fi movies, they basically focused on explosions and space like stuff instead of the actual plot. Like, does this plot actually work? Is it interesting? No, it's just special effects, the fighting and everything, and the going really fast, and the flying, and the blood sucking. That's basically all. So, but I mean, again, Twilight was a very good movie, a good movie, okay movie. So, I was entertained. So that's the base of it. And I wouldn't put it in the, like I said before, I like watching bad movies, but this wasn't this was not the type of bad movie that I want to watch. I mean, cuz it could be good. So that's different than the bad movies that I like to watch. Um that being said, there are bad movies that I just no, I just do not want to watch. Um but yeah, that's it. So Have you seen Twilight? Have you ever seen Twilight? If you did, tell me about it. That's all I have to say. Bye.